today I'm going to be starting on stripping the paint off of this thing, showing you how I'm doing it, what I'm using to start. We're going to see how it works. I'm going to be starting with a chemical stripper, which is why I got the plastic laid down. I also got plastic to put over the stripper, and I'll show you what I'm using now. So I picked this stuff up from Canadian Tire on a little bucket to spread it on. Got my respirator, got the fan for ventilation. This is one of the few nice days we got left that I'm going to be able to do this and have the doors open and not freeze. I did a couple test spots just quickly yesterday with it. I didn't leave it on very long. We're very thick and it worked okay. Ended up finding some Bondo actually too, so we'll see what we find as we do it. I'm going to start with like the back trunk here. I got a sheet of plastic cut that'll lay on that once I got it covered, and we'll see how it works. See how this shit really works. Good application time here.
Got it all covered? I'm just going to let it sit. I don't know how long this is really going to take, so to get the best result here. I'm just going to let it work. In the meantime, I'm going to try and get some more applied to the car here.
All right, so this has been on here for quite a while now. I don't think it really worked longer than maybe 30 minutes before it all dried up. Did an all right job, but you can see it dries up so quickly that it's hard to get full coverage. So I'm definitely gonna have to put another coat on here. Some places it worked better than others. Really worked pretty good here. You can see some bare steel right about there. I'm gonna go and scrape as much of this off as I can and then apply a second coat. After I'm done scraping, I'll show you guys what the first coat fully did, and then we'll go on with the second coat. This is after round one of paint stripper on this thing. Getting down to quite a lot of metal actually on the trunk lid itself. The quarter panels here definitely didn't fare as well. I think I'm gonna rotate the car to a bit of an angle to do those. I'm gonna focus more on the back here. Do another coat on there tonight and see what that does. So I just pulled the plastic off of the second coat here, and it's looking promising. There's actually still some chilling on the paint. Some of that stripper there. Had it on nice and thick. I'm gonna go hit it here quickly with the scraper here and see how much actually damage we did. That's looking really good. This here will need a little bit more. Like, is that ever easy? Coming off a nice big chunk. Right down to the steel, for the most part. And we'll be able to spot treat after, or just take some stripping discs to it. That's a hell of a lot easier and a hell of a lot less messy than making a cloud of paint dust everywhere. So I'm gonna go through, scrape all this again, and I'll show you guys the result. This is after scraping everything from the second round of stripper there. Found some more Bondo here, lovely. Seems to be in small patches all over the car. We got this filler, but whatever. It's to be expected of a car of this age. I'm gonna go ahead and put another coat on these larger areas here. There and there. Kind of do a little more spot treatment with the because there's no need spreading it on the steel. It's just a waste, and we'll see if we can get even more to come off. Back in the garage again today, going to continue on stripping the paint here. I've noticed a lot of issues under this paint that leads me to the answer as to why the paint was delaminating. I'll flip the camera around and show you real quick. All this pitting here, covered all over here. Lots of bad pitting here. All that was trapped under this paint. It's causing spots like this where the paint was flaking up around the hood where it's bubbling. Gone through a few different things here. I started with some paint strippers, but it's really only getting through the first couple layers of paint. It won't get through this yellow shit very well at all. So I've switched to stripping discs, which I'll show you right away here. Right here, these are the stripping discs I'm using. I've already gone through one of them, and I got most of the roof done. I just got to get on the other side of this here, over there, as well as most of the trunk. That took about one stripping disc. There's still a little bit of life left on it, but it was starting to cone out, and it just wasn't working as efficiently. So I'm going to switch up to a new one today, see where that gets me. I bought these ones at Canadian Tire. Now I know they work pretty well. I'm gonna get a bunch off Amazon for way cheaper because they're like a fraction of the price. But set the camera up, kind of show you how well it works, maybe do a time lapse. I'm not gonna show the whole process because that's real mind numbing, but just so you guys can see how these stripping discs work. Right guys, got a respirator here, plugged in. Show you how this works.
You just fire it up and hit the paint.
Finished product, just a couple seconds there. There's a lot of Bondo on this car too, which really sucks. Lots of little dents in here too, so hopefully once this is all stripped, it's in a somewhat repairable state, but there's gonna be a lot of work ahead for this car. Okay guys, I've got most of the paint stripped off this thing now. The roof's stripped, the rear corners are stripped, the trunk is stripped. Flip it around, show you what I found underneath. It's not pretty. Could probably be worse, could be a lot better too though. Start here with this rear corner. See here, there's been some patch panel work done, but Buddy did not know how to grind his welds down for one, so that affected the Bondo usage greatly. I don't know what's going on, why the metal is this color. Maybe some moisture trapped under there. It's starting to oxidize. We see that all along here. There's tons of Bondo here. You can see I've just taken a shit ton off just with the heat gun and that putty knife there. Here, again, we got a patch panel here. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of work on these rear corners, but it is what it is. This car was made for only a few years, so got to take it as it is and make it better. All along here you can see he put a weld in here, but you can see this panel is raised. So he literally, I found like when I was grinding the paint off, there's all Bondo here. The panel itself was like built up to match the height of this panel. So where it's still good here, I got to get this Bondo off here, see what's going on here, depending, so I can get a full game plan here. I might just end up replacing all this steel. One new piece, making a new piece, that'll be fun. I haven't really done that yet, but always time to learn. The trunk looks okay. A little bit of oxidation we can hit with some acid etch to get rid of that. Up here, same thing again. Patch panel welded in, not welded in flat. So this was just covered in Bondo. So much Bondo. I still got to get the rest of the paint off here. Hopefully we don't find too much filler here again, but it is what it is. With these old cars, you never know who touched them. Same thing going on here, but here we got some, like, I don't know what's going on here. Just nasty patching going on. But I just can't fault the guy. People who don't know, right? There's a big patch here. And you can just see it. There it is again. It's solid. It's just, it could have been done better, and that's what I'm going to try and do. Same with these, like, you can see how thick this Bondo is because the patches weren't welded in correctly. That's the biggest thing. So I'm going to continue to try and strip down this Bondo. I'll kind of show you guys how I've been doing it with the heat gun and whatnot. It actually works pretty well, keeps the dust down. The rocker panels, I can get these, so I'm going to, because, well, that's no good. Replacing both sides rocker panels, no questions asked. Then we're good. Solid steel, get in behind, clean everything up, make it good again. I still got to strip the firewall down, but I'm kind of not too worried about that right now. That can be done later. I want to get going on the metal work, getting this filler off, because this, I have high doubts that he did much body working here. Like, you could still see all the old seam sealer and everything. There's no indication, right, with the metal like this that much patchwork has been done. I know he did a little bit here. I can see some stuff going on here. It was dented in, so something's going on here. When I do the rocker panel, I'll repair that as well. Same thing on the other side here. This one you can actually see the little patch panel that was made. Once again, I don't know if this rocker is any good, but I'm gonna order both. I'm gonna cut them both out, do them both. Don't have to worry about it then. But I'll set my tripod up. I don't know. Kind of show you how I've been stripping off this Bondo with just a heat gun and a putty knife. All right, so hopefully I got a good camera angle here. I don't have a cameraman, so I got to kind of work with the tripod and setting it on things. But what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take the heat gun. There's a nice thick part here. Them are the best, most satisfying to do. And I'm just gonna heat it. High heat. Take my putty knife. Try and start working in under that. Starting to go there. See? One shot, you pull all that off, all the layers of different bits. Oh, warm now. So I just did that chunk right there. Almost debating if I should just make a new quarter panel right off the bat and just replace it. Because it's gonna be a lot of man hours put into trying to get this Bondo off, so we'll see. I'll keep scraping for a little bit and then I'll probably make a decision. So I got a little more of the Bondo removed. And we can see this seam that we see here. It's straight across, almost, except for here. So they went here, back. That's where they messed up this quarter panel. From here to here. This is okay, depending what's under this. If there's more of this under this is not okay. But from what I'm seeing, you see these panels aren't in flat anywhere. Same here. So they built up the panel to level it. So if I can fix those, cut out this, make a new piece that's nice. I probably want to redo this whole wheel well, all the way, so it's all good, fresh steel. The bodywork isn't going to be too bad, but in saying that, I do have to get rid of all this filler. And I need to find a better way to do this because this takes forever. It's not dusty, it does work, but it takes forever.